What's up, guys and gals? Sanitary 103, always encouraging clean eating and a clean and healthy lifestyle. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about getting health and fitness advice on YouTube. Now, there are a lot of health and fitness channels, especially currently now. You know, back in like 2006, there was only like a couple, but as the years progress and even currently, there are a lot of bodybuilding channels, a lot of health and fitness channels, and that's good if you want to get a lot of information. But what I'm telling you guys and gals out there as a precautionary tale is be careful who you take fitness advice from on YouTube. And that doesn't exclude myself. Now, I try to give out the best information possible. If you go to my YouTube channel, the cover page, and you go to the about or discussion section, I believe, it basically has all that legal jargon to make sure I don't get sued, and it says, you know, I try to give out the best information possible, but it is not intended to substitute your doctor's advice, yada, yada, yada. Basically, that's the gist of all that legal jargon, but you should definitely listen to that, because there's going to be people out there that, even though they might have good intentions of giving out advice, it might not be exactly pertinent to your specific situation. Now, it's one thing for a person to have really good intentions, but you know, sometimes give out some misinformation. And I've done some videos in the past where, you know, I kind of scratched my head or someone pointed something out and I had to make an annotation because no one's perfect. Now, that's one situation that can occur, but it's even a double whammy if you get that person who's just trying to make a quick buck. They're promising all these miracle shortcuts. They're saying you take this, you're gonna look like this. Those are the people you want to be careful about. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Another critical point I wanted to stress and discuss in this video is that don't get too blinded by what you see on the exterior. Now, it obviously makes sense that if you want to be, let's say you're a guy and you want to get ripped, you see a guy who's ripped, it would make sense that you're going to ask for that person's advice and you're probably going to listen to that advice. Also, if you're a female and you want that beach body, you want to have that lean, toned abs, toned arms, and look like a bikini model, and some girl on the internet looks the part, you're more inclined to follow that person's advice. But even if somebody looks the part, and I'm going to actually give two specific examples, one pertaining to the males and one pertaining to the females. But even if that person who's giving advice looks the part, and let's start off with the male example, it doesn't necessarily mean they're giving out the best advice possible. And to not beat around the bush for the males, there's a lot of guys out there on YouTube that claim to be natural. And what they mean by natural is that they're not taking any enhancers, they're not taking steroids, they're not putting a needle in their ass behind camera. Actually, quick correction, they are putting a needle in their ass behind camera, but they're not telling you guys, yet they might be trying to push a supplement, and they're also giving you nutrition advice. And they all look the part and they all look great, and you think that if you follow their nutrition advice, their specific nutrition advice, and you take their supplements, that you're gonna look exactly like them, and that's just not always the case. Now, does this mean that I'm saying that people who take steroids or who are claiming to be natural, that they can't give out good nutrition and diet advice? No, I'm not saying that. A person who's claiming to be a natural athlete, but they're not, they can still give decent workout tips and dieting advice, but I definitely would not take their word as God, especially if they're pushing their own supplement line because they're trying to make a quick buck off of you. And or do you even really know if the actual training and regimen is going to be pertinent to you, especially if you're natural? Because I don't care what anybody says. You get someone who's on a steroid cycle and they need to, you know, cut down and get more trim. They can actually get bigger and stronger and grow into a show. Whereas a natural athlete, such as myself, you know, if they were to cut down, you're gonna lose a little bit of that, you know, dry look, that capped shoulders. You're gonna lose a little bit of size. That's just inevitable. And a real quick example regarding the females is that I remember running into a video, I forgot who it was, I really don't remember, it was months ago, and this girl had lost a tremendous amount of weight, and she posted a video, and I'm not trying to point fingers, I'm not trying to, you know, cause hatred or anything, but this basically just worked for her. And she was basically saying, oh, she was eating like, I think like a bowl of cereal in the morning, and the rest of the day she was eating nothing but salad, and she lost weight. Now, this girl lost weight, and if you look at her, she looked much better. She wasn't as overweight, she was more toned, she was in a caloric deficit, and a lot of people were taking her advice by just eating, you know, a bowl of cereal and some salad. Now, I'm not a registered dietitian, but I have been around the block or two, and I know some common sense that I probably wouldn't recommend that type of diet. You're lacking in protein. Where are you going to get your vitamins and minerals? It's just very deficient diet. But with that being said, a lot of people want a quick fix. They're taking her advice basically to the T because she looks that way, but they're blinded by what they see on the exterior, which is my main point in this video, that just because that girl looks extremely skinny, what if she's starving herself? What if she hasn't eaten in 2 days? Does that make it right? And does that make her advice of, let's say, you know, having a diet of just eating cereal and salad or starving themselves, does that make it valid just because she looks good? Absolutely not. That's about it for this quick video. Hopefully I'll shed some light on this subject. So just remember, in a nutshell, you know, when you go and look for fitness advice on YouTube, and there's a lot of information out there, take advantage of it, but definitely have an open mind. And also, don't get too fixated on how the person actually looks. Focus more on their content and do your own research. And then from there, hopefully you will optimize your results. Comments and questions are always welcome. Be sure to subscribe if not already for all the latest at diet, health, and fitness. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. That's gonna kind of prevent the chicken from getting as dry. It's kind of like a coating. Because I don't have cheese on mine, it might get a little bit dry.